Okay, Kaliningrad and map.
はい。
There, make it smaller. But it's
So it's So it's a small part. It's a small department that is between Poland and Lithuania.
Yes, yes, yes.
So it's not in the big Russia, but in Europe.
So, yeah, that is really interesting. Yeah, Russia, Russia is here. Russia, big Russia.
Yeah.
But her hometown is here.
Yes.
Actually, it's in Europe.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's between Poland and Lithuania. Yeah.
So you're gonna talk about this place, right?
Yeah, right. So it became Russia after the Second World War. So in 1945, 1946. So before it was the part of Prussia. It's like Russia, but with a P. Prussia. It's like we can say that it was Germany, but it was before, so it was Prussia. And so that's why we have a lot of German architecture, German style houses that are still there because, of course, after the Second World War, a lot of architecture was destroyed or abandoned.
I see. なので、このカトリーナのこのホームタウンっていうのは、昔はロシアではなくて、プロシアって言って、プロシア。で、プロシアっていうのはなんか、まあ、ドイツに近いような国だ。So, there is no Prussia right now.
No, now it's like it was taken by Russia when after the Second World War, the countries, they're shared all that left after the war. So this part was taken by Russia.
Okay. そう。なので、第二次世界大戦、1945年に、そのプロシアのパートっていうのがロシアに。分かった、ごめんね。
It's so excited.
ね、見せてあげる？大丈夫？ OK。そう。なので、そこで、もう、そうなった時に、その、昔のね、建築とかが取られてなくなってしまったということなんですが、OK, now let's start the picture. OK, 分かった、見るね。ちょっとSo, they are the pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
share me.
So because after the war, there were like a lot of building that was destroyed, but the Russian government decided to save some of them or to rebuild, build like it was before, but it was a new building. So for example, what you see on the picture, it's really famous. It's like the postcard of the Kaliningrad region. It's called Fisherman Village. Fishermen, because it's next to the sea, so there are a lot of fishermen. And this was built after, so it's not old, but it looks like old.
で、これはもう戦争の後に建てられたものなんですけど、フィッシャーマンズビレッジって言われるやつで、結構建築が壊されたんだけれども、また、ね、同じようなkind of like similar buildings are constructed、ね、似たような建築がまた作られて、こんな風な街ができているというわけですね。Okay.
Yeah, so as you can see behind, or on this picture, it's on the upside, so the same village. And behind you can see the old Russian Soviet style buildings. And on the first, in the big, here next to us, you can see the fisherman village. So it's like you see the difference between the styles, the old German style and the Soviet style. So it's not that beautiful, the Soviet style.
So,
and just behind the fisherman village, you have like a mosque. The mosque, how do you call it? It's the Jewish mosque. Jewish.
そう。モスクはね、日本語でもモスクなんだよね。イスラム教の教会ですよね。そうそう。これがモスクで、これがそのドイツの建物ってことだよね。でも、このカテリーナ、じゃあこの後ろのこういうkind of like residential buildings。これはなんかソビエトの感じ、これロシアな感じ。 like Russian style. Russian style
Soviet
and
style.
and German style.
はい。
なるほど。はい。あ、使いとか日本語使っても大丈夫だからね、カテリーナ。
ちょっと
ちょ
but
っと
because
ね。
I was thinking to speak a bit in Japan, but there are a lot of words that I cannot say in
そうね。
Japanese because it's like really architecture, styles,
うん
etc.
うん。
So then you can see like the same village on the other side. So we have a river in the center of Kaliningrad. There is a river.
うん
So we have a lot of bridges all around. So it's really beautiful.
へー
It's
そう、
touristic area.
トゥリスティックエリア、そう、ツアリスト、観光エリアな感じなんですね。
はい
そう、this is, you
This is
said,
the hotels.
oh, it's
There
a
are the
hotel.
hotels, the restaurants. So there is no one who live there. No, it's not for people to live. It's just for tourists more.
なるほど。もし質問とかあったらいつでもしてくださいね、皆さん。ゆくさんもこんばんは。
こんばんは。
はい、Thank you for joining. あ、これ何かな
Konnichiwa.
Yes. So what's this?
So this actually what I see from my window from the apartment that I have in Russia. So you have few ships, like few vessels. There are the museums, so you can visit, and the huge earth, like earth style. It's also the museum. It's called Maritime Museum, Ocean Museum. Sorry. So you can visit. There are few buildings and few vessels that you can visit.
そう、
And yeah.
これがミュージアムなんですね。博物館なんだ。So, these vessels, these ships are not for sailing. Just for,
No.
It's just for like showing the, like,
Yeah, they were sailing before, but now there are museums, and the white one, like behind, I think they even I've heard that they filmed like some parts of the Titanic on this vessel, like small parts, like some of the fragments. Yeah.
何タイタニックのパーツが入ってるのそう、タイタニック、タイタニックが in this vessel。すごいね。
But not in Kaliningrad when it was like outside.
Not in Korea?
Not in Kaliningrad, but when it was outside the Russia.
ああ、
When the vessel was working.
なんでこの客船がちゃんと仕事を働いてた時にそのタイタニックのパーツ、タイタニックのパーツが入ってた
Like I think they took because I don't know how to say it in English, not in Japanese. Like there are some parts of the ship that you can put on the water to investigate what is underneath, like the small cabins, you know, when you put one person inside. So I think they use these ones on the Titanic to film the Titanic.
タイタニック撮るのに使われたんだ。すごいね。
そう、salvage. So put out from the deep water.
すごい。Gip, thank you for joining. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So this is the main square of the Kaliningrad, we can say like this. So in the center you can see like it's like kind of metal. I don't know what it represents exactly, but it's also from Soviet style. And behind you see the really Russian temple, so you can visit also. But it's working. It works. You can. So it's in the center of the city. You see the park behind, and there are some shops.
So this is the Russian style. ここはロシアのスタイルなんだね。
はい、ちょっと。
ロシアのなんて言ったっけ？ロシアの
正教みたいな。
そうロシア正教のでもちゃんとねチャーチがありますよ。チャーチクロスがある。そして I think this kind of tower is like symbol of Russia. なんかね park there's a like a park and in the middle there's a tower.
Yeah, it's a medal of Soviet like Yeah, you see, like it's in the center. There is like a medal.
これね、これがメダルみたいな。
Yeah, it's like what you put after what the military guys are put on them after the war if they want something, so they put the medals on them. So it's like a kind of medal, like the huge one.
I see. 戦いに勝ったらこういうの上につけるんだ。Oh, okay, got it. Thank you.
Yeah. So this is like, it's interesting to see because on the right side you see already the fisherman village that I told you about on the right side,
こちら、右がフィッシャーマンビレッジで、
yeah, behind you see the buildings, the like Soviet style buildings that were built like maybe 40 years ago. And then just in front, just here, a huge German, like it's really old. It was reconstructed, but like the half of it was reconstructed, and the half of it survived after the Second World War. So it's now it's a museum, and you have the organ.
Oh, there's an organ. So you mean that this one?
Like the musical instrument. Like,
organ.
The organ. Yeah, inside you have like the huge organ, so you can go and listen to the concerts inside.
Okay, so
and there is also a museum.
Okay, これが Russian museum.
Yeah, it's a museum, but like the building is old. It survived, like the half of the building survived after the Second World War. So they like rebuilt the half of it to make it the building. And also just behind, we don't see, but there is a there's a grave of Immanuel Kant. I don't know if you heard. It's like the philosopher, the Immanuel Kant. It's the famous
Kant.
Kanto?
Kant, like the Immanuel, like the famous philosopher. Yeah.
Kanto no grave. Which one is the Kanto's grave?
It's in this building, but just behind. But behind, because we don't see from this side. Yeah.
I see.
Because actually, the entire life he was living here in Kaliningrad, but not in Kaliningrad, but in Königsberg, because before the city was named Königsberg, so the Kant was living there the entire life, and he died there.
じゃあカントがここに住んでたわけですね。で、この今ミュージアムになってるここはなんか戦争で半分なくなってしまったけども、また再建されてってことですね。Okay, so this is a Russian style. でここら辺ね。
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
Thank you.
It's Soviet style. Yeah.
Soviet style. ね
So, but the temple is from the German times, so it's on the other side.
あ、そっか。そう、だからこれは、でも、ジャーンだから、その戦争の前は、ドイツだったから、ドイツ系のところにね、支配されてたから、ドイツ系の建物だけど、でも、ハーフデストロイド、半分壊れて、また再建されて、今は、だから、it's kind of like a mixed culture.
Yeah, yeah, it's really mixed. You can see on the picture that it's mixed.
なるほど。じゃあ次いきますね。
So it's the same area, but from the other side. So you see the river, you see the bridges, you can see like the same temple and some Soviet buildings behind. And the park is big, so it's really green. In Kaliningrad, we have a lot of parks, so you can walk around.
ね、カリングラードは緑がいっぱいで、綺麗なところみたいで。お、これは。
Yeah, it's old. It's not rebuilt, so it's really old German style. They call it. It's the fort, like the old fort, like military building. When before the during the war, they were sitting behind, like the military guys.
なるほど。
And now it's a museum. It's a amber museum. Like you have a lot of amber. inside. Amber, right? Because in Kaliningrad region, like we have a lot of production of like not production, but they find a lot of amber and they product like the bijouterie, like how we call it? Yeah, bijouterie, jewelry with the amber. So, and you can see different jewelry with the amber in this museum. You can visit it.
I see. So Ember Museum. Ember, it's kind of jewelry.
Yeah, it's jewelry that you take from. You can find in the sea, but actually, like the amber, it comes from. I will tell you from what? From resin.
Yeah,
Resin.
it's like
Resin, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You can find the small like mochi inside. So it's like a jewelry with the mochi or something.
I see, I see. じゃあ、まあ、この建物
The
はでも
insects.
すごい面白いですね。これはドイツの時からのあったその戦争の、まあ、砦とか要塞とかに使えたものですね。で今ミュージアムになっていて、そのエンバーっていうそのジュエリー系のものが飾られていると。はい。そして、
So it's another one that left after the World War, and this is actually a bridge, like a bridge. You cannot walk there, but you see the road that pass through the bridge, and you can see the cars. So it's like it works today, so you can visit.
すごいこれブリッジだったんだ。Okay.
But we don't have a lot of this left, like after the war. So the ones that are left, they really try to keep it.
I see. ということはカテリーナ、so behind this building, there is a river.
No. That's on the other side of the city. It's nothing to do with the picture before.
このシティのこの入り口みたいな感じですね。
It's just on the. It's just in the city. You like it's there are some roads and then there's a bridge, old bridge. So it's next to the train station. It's not far away from the train station.
電車の駅の横にあるんですね。そして、太田さん、ありがとうございます。吉田さん、参加していただいて、私のパラグライダーの先輩です。Okay, and this one is?
So it's interesting. It's not German style, like it's a really Soviet style, and it's interesting. There is an interesting history. It's in the center of the city, and it was built after the World War, of course, and before there were a German castle. So it was destroyed, of course, and then they built this. I don't know how it's called. I mean, it's like it's really. It's not beautiful at all. It looks like a head of the robot.
なんかロボットの頭みたいだよねって言って。
Yeah.
なんか昔
So we call it.
お城があったけど取り壊されちゃって。
So we call it a head of the robot because it looks like. But it was when it was built. It was purpose for the Soviet government to stay there, to stay inside, to work inside, but they never worked there. It was never working, like it was abandoned from the beginning. So it was built and then abandoned at the same time. And there is still here since maybe 30 years or something like this. And they're trying, like every year, they're trying to destroy it, to build something like beautiful on this place. But it's still, but you can visit, like it's not official. You can pay to the guardian that is inside, and you can visit. But it's not official. It's like abandoned building.
なるほど。だからこれもともとそのドイツのお城を壊してこれを作ってソビエトのね政府とかが入ろうとしたけど結局すぐにアバンドンとこのもうほっとかれたみたいな感じずっと使われてない状態に残っててねロボットヘッドね。It's quite interesting.
Yeah, and you can climb You can go upstairs.
Hey,
There's
you can go
no.
upstairs.
You can go upstairs. There is no elevator. You can go upstairs, and there is like a beautiful from the top of the building because it's really high and you can see the city.
なるほど。So you have to walk up the stairs. エレベーター
Yeah. And I didn't look for the picture from the inside. I'm sorry. Sometimes like inside you see the water, you see the trees inside because like it's abandoned since long time. And it's really like from the movies.
That's what the government wants you to think, that it's abandoned. Under the ground, you'll see the rest of the robots.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe.
確かにもしかしたら下にもっとロボットが眠ってるかもとかって。OK。これは
Yeah, this is a submarine. It's a museum. It's a part of the ocean museum that you saw before. And it's just in front of, so behind you see the small gray building. There were where I was living. So it's just in front of my window. Yeah, you can visit the submarine. It's interesting.
この潜水艦もミュージアムみたいなのに使われてると。ちなみに途中から参加した方のために、今カトリーナが紹介してくれているんですけども、カトリーナはロシア人なんですよ。ロシア人なんですけど、カリングラードって言って、もうヨーロッパの中にあるポツンとあるロシアみたいなところに住んでいて、このロシア、その地域っていうのはもともとドイツが支配してた。プロシアって今ない国なんですけど、ドイツ系の国が支配してたから、ドイツの文化とロシアの文化が融合した感じになっているところなんですね。はい。じゃあ続きいきますね。
So this is not in the center of Kaliningrad. It's a bit like outside, but it's a hotel with a restaurant that was built. It's a new one. So as you can see, there are windows that are not like really from the old times. So they just decided to create a hotel that looks like a German building, a German castle. So, and you can visit, you can stay, you can like visit the restaurants. It's like for tourists, but it's funny. It's interesting how they did it with the windows.
いや確かに面白い窓の形ですよね。なんか戦争の後に作られた新しい建物なんだけど、なんかドイツ風にしようとして作られたと。綺麗。
So this is it's the Coronian spit. So it's like the spit is like it's like the part of Russia, and it's between Russia and Lithuania.
ロシアとリトアニアの間にある。これ、it's kind of like the border.
Yeah, the border in the middle. Yeah, right. And it's called Coronian spit because it's like this it's like the line, the narrow band of.
Yeah. So this is the border. So the right side is Russia and the left side is Lithuania.
Yeah, this I cannot tell from which side there is Russia, from which side is Lithuania, but like it's almost the same on the both sides. But to go to Lithuania, you have to take a ferry because like it ends. Then you take a ferry and then it continues from the other side.
なんでここからちょっと国を飛ぼうと思ったらちゃんとフェリーに乗っていかないといけないというわけですね。
It's national park.
ナショナルパークなんだ。
Yeah, so I think it's protected by the UNESCO.
Oh, I see. It's beautiful.
Yeah, because there are like the forest, the beaches. It's really beautiful. Not that many people during the summer.
泳げるの Can you swim there?
Yes, of course, but like in the summer you can. It's not that cold, but like it's maybe 20, 22, 23 degrees in the summer. So yeah, you can swim, but it's a bit cold. It depends on the person.
ね、私ちょっと冷たいけど泳げると。
Yeah, so this is in the city called Svetlogorsk, in the same region, because the Kaliningrad region we have, so there are some few cities, and this is the Svetlogorsk city. It's next to the sea, and this is the area like in the central park. There are some shops, restaurants, etc., and it is new. It's not old. It looks like old, but it was also rebuilt, because actually like a lot of buildings, like it's almost was destroyed, the Kaliningrad. The German Kaliningrad was destroyed almost like 100%. That's why there are a lot of buildings that was rebuilt after.
なるほど。これはね、またビーチの ところにある土地だけど、古く見えるけど新しい。もうほとんど戦争の後で 100% 近くこう壊されちゃったから、また再建されたっていうところですね。ドイツ風にね。
So this is like next to the previous picture. So it's like the sea, but as you can see, there is almost no beach. So when you go there, it's more for visiting, like breathing. But if you want to stay on the beach, you have to go to another city that is next to the sea. But it's really beautiful just to visit.
なるほど。まあ、これビーチでここら辺は泳げないけど、まあ、隣のところに行けば泳げるけど、でもすごい綺麗だよということですね。へえ。
Yeah, it's also in the same city in Svetlogorsk. It's actually a part of the cure center, like when you can go for a week or 2 weeks for your health, to take to make some exercises, to some spa, massages, etc. So it's the part of the center.
なるほど。
It's just beautiful, and with the like, and this one is old. It's sure. I can say from which year.
もういいですね。これスパとかもあるって言ってる。これがね、これが It looks like eyes なんかこれが目に見えるけど。
Ah, yeah.
あ、ビーチだ。おっと、just wait. これ。
Yeah. Yeah. So this is the beach. Yeah. As you see on the left side, there are some metallic constructions that are left. This is the problem of Kaliningrad, like of the government as well, because they try to rebuild the things to make it better, but still there are a lot of abandoned buildings, and there are a lot of like abandoned metallic parts on the beaches, in the sea, to like everywhere. So it's a bit dangerous. Like as you can see, there are children, etc. And they play with it sometimes. So you can see some abandoned houses on the beach, and like further. So it's a bit dangerous. I think it's left after the war, or also after. For example, there are some vessels that are abandoned and that stayed on the beach. So you can come and see the vessels, but it's like with all these dangerous metallic things that is going out of the vessel. So like it's nice to see, but at the same time, it's not protected. There's nothing around it.
なるほど。
So you can touch it, you can go inside.
じゃあこのビーチのね、この左側にあるこういうブロックとか、このメタルとか金属とかのやつが、このカリングラードの今の問題で、この都市っていうのが戦争の時にすごい破壊されてしまって、たくさんの廃墟とか、もう使わなくなった船とかできて、それがそのまま放置されている状態。だから見るにはいいけれども、やっぱりそこが入ったりとか、近く寄ったり危ないこともあったりとかするから、これがまだいっぱい至るところにあるのっていうのが問題なんだよね。なるほど。
Yeah, and there are also a lot of forts. So this is again one of the forts, like military fort, that was built like long ago by the German people, and it's in the form of a star. And on the other side, you see the spit, so like this part of Russia that continues on the other side. So this is like we have Lithuania from the other side and Poland from another side. So this one is with the Poland. The first one you had with the Lithuania, the Koronian spit. It's a border with the Lithuania, and this is a border with the Poland. So you have the city called Baltisk with this star, like, and then you have a Poland, and like Poland. Before you have like the Russian part, and then far away you see the Poland, and you take a ferry to go to the other side.
なるほど。じゃあここはそのカリングラードのポーランド側の国境のとこですね。
Yeah,
で、
yeah,
この
far away
昔
there is
の
a Poland.
そう要塞とかも残っていると。このthis star shape, it's the kind of like fort.
Yeah.
Okay. これが戦争の時に使ってた要塞砦とこですね。
Yeah. So you have again the fortification, like the part of the wall of the fortifications. It's on the Baltic Spit, so it's on the other side, as we saw on the picture before. It's on the other side, with the beach next to it. And it's funny, you don't see it in this picture, but you have a lot of cows that are there, eating the grass.
Eating grass?
During the summer, there are a lot of cows
Mm.
that are walking around, eating the grass, etc. Yeah, you don't see it here,
Okay,
but it's funny. You don't see it here, yeah, but they're walking around like the cows of someone else who lives next
Wild
to it.
cow? Wild cow?
The cow,
Oh,
the cow, like with the milk,
wild cow
like the
とか。
cows,
Wild cow.
そう
like the animals.
牛とかがね、草を食べてる時もあるということですね。これは、そう、
It's
they like
abandoned.
use-
It's not functioning.
うーん
Like a lot of fortifications and old German buildings that are abandoned.
もう今使われてない感じですよね。
うん
うん
But it's free to visit
うん
if you're
So,
not afraid
for-
because it can be dangerous. Yeah.
Okay. Katerina, fortification is kind of like the place to escape, like or try to hide.
It depends from which side you are going there, I think. But
So,
fortification, it was
mm.
built by the military of the country to save the city. Usually the fortification, they're all around the city, like the fort. They're all around the cities and they are made to protect the city
なるほど。
against the armies that comes.
うんうんうんこういうの
For
が
example, yeah.
そっか。まあ、戦争の時にこの守ったりとか
砦みたいな。
そうそう、やっぱ使われてたところなんですよね。そして、
Yeah, this is the road. You can go downstairs. Like you can take the cabin and you can go downstairs next to the sea. It's funny because the cabins are really old. They are really old, maybe like 30 or 40 years. So sometimes I'm afraid to take it, but it's still working. It works. So you can take it and go downstairs or to climb back if you're lazy to climb.
OK 古くてちょっと怖いけどね、動いてると。はい。おう。
So yeah, this is next to the Baltic, next to the sea, and this photo was taken during the Russian holiday that called just a second, I will tell you how it's called.
OK。ロシアの祝日の時
It's
に
like it's like a Navy Day.
ネ
Navy
イビー
Day.
で、あ、海軍の日だったんだね。うんうん。
And it's in summer, so you have a lot of military vessels
うーん
that make a parade.
なるほど。
Around-
軍艦がパレードした。うんうん。
Yeah, and you can see like on the next picture, you can see there are also some
お
Yeah.
お。
like helicopters, vessels, and they make a parade like to. It's like it's a bit festive.
うんうんうん。Yeah, and I can see rainbow here. It's beautiful.
Yeah. It's actually it's fun and it's strange at the same time. It's like to show us the force of military, I think.
うーん。そっか、こういう。
Yeah, and there are a lot of people around to see it.
なるほど。そう、軍隊の日、日本とかないですもんね。There's no military day in Japan.
Yeah, it's like I don't think it's like really good, but it's what government makes to show us the force, to show the people so they can be sure that like they're protected or that they are. Yeah, it's a bit complicated today, but like it's every year, every summer they make this Navy Day, like since maybe since 50 years, since the Second World War.
なるほど。第二次世界大戦が終わってから、ね、こういうふうにこう、なんか力を見せるように政府がしてるんですね。
Yeah. So, and this is like the beach, like, because we have few beaches, few different beaches. Some of them are big, some of them are really small. This is one of the famous ones in city called Yantarny. It's really big and really long, like for a few kilometers. So in summer, it's easy to find a place.
4 kilometers beach. That's
Yeah,
nice.
like really long.
Okay, this is the end of the picture. Wow, Catalina, thank you so much for sharing